Hey everybody, it's Mr. Cognetti from Citizenship Academy again, and today we're going to continue with math and learning how to tell time. So 2 days ago, we worked on reading hours where we were saying o'clock. So it was either 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, there were no extra minutes on the hour. So today I want to start, we also talked about our minute hand and our hour hand. Does anyone remember if the hour hand is the big hand or the little hand? You can shout it out. The hour hand is the little hand. So that must mean the minute hand is the bigger hand, okay? So I'm going to draw the hands today, see how this works. And I'm going to start by drawing 12 o'clock. So if we have 12 o'clock, that means both hands are pointing right up to the 12. So we have our big minute hand. And I'm going to draw them right next to each other, but they'd be right on top of each other. Our little hour hand. So they're both pointing right up to 12. Now, this shows 12 o'clock because we start by reading what the hour hand's showing first. The hour hand points to 12. We say 12. And then the minute hand is pointing also to the 12, but we don't say the number for the minute hand. We say o'clock. Alright, so we say 12 o'clock. That means, in the way that's written on an analog clock, is 12, which is the hour, and then 00, because there's no extra minutes. The second this starts going that way, if it goes 1 minute that way, it'd be 12:01. Alright, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So, if I were to ask you, or if the minute hand were to go all the way around the clock, if it were to spin all the way around this, that means 60 minutes have passed. If this hour hand, or if this minute hand goes all the way around, that's 60 minutes, okay? 60, remember that number. So if this hand goes all the way around and back to the 12, is this hour hand still going to be there? If 60 minutes goes by, is it still going to be 12 o'clock? No, it's not. Where do you think this hour hand is going to be? This hour hand, after 60 whole minutes, is going to be pointing one number this way. So it's going to go from the 12 to the 1. The hour hand moves a lot slower. It takes a whole hour for the hour hand to go from number 12 to the number 1. It takes a whole hour from the hour hand to go from number 1 to number 2. Okay? And 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay, remember that. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Now, give me a second. All right, and if we were to write 1 o'clock, it'd be written 1. Then we separate the hour from the minutes. O'clock. There's 0 extra minutes on the hour. All right? All right, now remember, or a question. Which hand is the hour hand? Is it the short one or the long one? It is the short one. So the minute hand, is that the short one or the long one? The minute hand is the long one. Very good. All right. I want to show 3 o'clock. If I want to show 3 o'clock on my clock up here, what do you think it's going to look like? Right now I have 1 o'clock. Do I need to move my minute hand if I want to show 3 o'clock? Don't need to move my minute hand. Do I need to move my hour hand if I want to show 3 o'clock? It's pointing to the 1 right now. I do need to move it. What number should my hour hand point to if I want to show 3 o'clock? It should point to the 3. So I'm going to draw a big hour hand right here. Or a fat hour hand, not long. It's not going to be a long one. So remember, the hour hand is shorter. So there's my hour hand pointing to the 3. So we have 3 o'clock. And if we were to write that as an analog clock or a digital clock, sorry, it would be 3 because that's the hour, 0, 0 because that's how we write o'clock. Okay? So for a digital clock, that's how it'd be written. I think I misspoke earlier on. So that is 3 o'clock. Now today we're going to start learning about if this minute hand moves into a different position. If this minute hand goes halfway around the circle, so here's all the way around the circle, I want to go halfway around the circle. What number do you think my minute hand will be pointing to if I go halfway around the circle? Take a second to think about it. All right, what number do you think it's going to be pointing to if we go halfway around the circle? It is going to be pointing, think of the shape of a half circle. If here's part of it, and if it goes to the 1, is that halfway around? No. If it goes down to the 3, is that halfway around? Not quite. If I were to cut this circle in half, we would need to come down to the 6. So I'm going to erase my minute hand here. And imagine this minute hand is going, spinning, 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 boom. Pointing all the way down to the 6. I'm going to draw a big minute hand here. Alright. So I have my big minute hand. Try and color it in as best as I can. Pointing all the way down to the 6. So there's my minute hand. So now I'm not showing 3 o'clock. Because we don't have our minute hand pointing towards the 12. It is pointing to the 6. So if the minute hand is halfway between 1 hour and the next, that it would be pointing at the 6, and we say, for this one, it is 3:30. Because it's still 3 o'clock. We have this minute hand that went halfway through the hour. Up here it would be 3 o'clock. And then now it's 30 minutes later, or halfway around the circle, so it's 3:30. Okay? Say that with me. 3:30. Alright? And this hour hand might be moved a little bit because the hour hand moves with the minute hand, but for this sake, it's 3:30. Now, if you see this time on a clock, this hour hand won't be pointing directly at 3 because as this minute hand moves, the hour hand moves as well, just not as fast. So this hour hand is actually going to be in between 3 and 4. Because if this is halfway around the circle and the minute hand takes a whole spin around the circle, for this hour hand to go 1 hour forward, we're going to be halfway in between the 3 and the 4. Because the hour hand's making its way towards the 4. It's just not fully there yet. So we have 3:30. Now, for the hour hand, like I said earlier, it's 1 hour in between each number. But for the minute hand, you might see you're going to see on a clock a bunch of little dashes. And these represent the minutes. So if this is 0, 0, that means this is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Then we get to the number 1, and that's minute 5. Then we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we get to the number 2, and that's 10. So we have 5 minutes in between each one of these numbers. So let's see if that adds up to 60. I want you to count by 5s with me, okay? So we're going to start here, and this is going to be 5, and we're going to keep going like that. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So we have 60 minutes all the way around the clock. What number did we say when I pointed to the 6 down here? It's half of 60. We said the number 30. 30. Sorry, I'm holding up 3 fingers. We said the number 30. So this would, we can say, excuse me. We can call this 3:30, or we can call this 3:30. All right, and that would be written like this with a digital clock. The hour is 3, because it's not 4 o'clock yet, and we have 30 minutes. So 3:30. Pretty simple to read it this way. You just read the 2 numbers you see. You see 3, that means the hour, and you see the 30, and that means the minutes. Okay? So 3:30. Now, if, say, this went all the way around again, got up to the 12, it would be 4 o'clock, but I'm going to draw this hour hand in a different spot, and I want you to think of what time that is going to read. Okay, so now it's pointing kind of towards the 4, it's a little bit past it, it's going this way. Is it to the 5 yet? Not to the 5 yet. So it's not 5 o'clock because it hasn't even reached the 5 yet. We know it can't be 5 o'clock. What's the last number it passed? 4. Is it 4 o'clock? Not quite, because our minute hand isn't pointing up to the 12. It's pointing down to the 6. And there are two ways we can say that. We can say 4:30. Say that with me again. Ready? 4:30. Or we can say how many minutes this is. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we can say 4:30. Okay? All right. So you just learned, or we went over again, o'clock when it's pointing up to the 12, and you just learned what half past the hour is. Half of this circle is 30 minutes. This would be, as written as a digital clock, would be 4:30. The hour is 4, the minutes is 30. Okay? So for your assessment today, I'm just going to write it down. I'll tell you it right now in this video. And then I'll write it down so you guys can read it on Google Classroom or Class Dojo. But I am going to give you a couple times, and I want you to try your best and draw them in your own clock. Okay? Now, if you want, you can print out an empty clock on your computer if you're able to print paper. But otherwise, you can just take a piece of paper, draw your own clock like I did. Okay? If you need to look at a clock to help you draw one, you can look at my video right here, or ask someone in your family to help you out. But all you need is a circle, and then you can put your own numbers in there, just like I did on this clock. Okay? And the times that I want you to show, there will only be 2 of them. I'm going to write those down so you guys can read those in the directions, okay? So once again, we learned today what half past the hour looks like. When the minute hand is pointing to the 6, it is half past the hour, or we say the number 30 for 30 minutes. Great job today. You guys are doing awesome. Once again, I miss you guys. I hope you're doing really, really well and staying healthy and safe. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. Okay? Good luck with your assessment and have a great day. Bye, guys.